This shell is a bit more tricky to create, and I'm gonna use the same approach I use for all sorts of leaves and other ornaments like that. So basically we have to trace the shape, create a grid, make it 3D and give it some thickness. So let's start by tracing it. Okay. Something like this will do. I'm just adding a bit more detail to define the shape a bit better. Okay, so this is pretty good place to start. Let's collapse to editable poly. Okay, as you can see we have some unneeded vertices here. I'm just gonna undo my convert to edit poly and make sure all the vertices are set to corner first. And now when I convert it, it should be fine, and it is. Okay, so let's cut in some main edges. Okay, 1 and 2. So these define the basic shape of the segments. Now let's cut in the holes. Okay. Like that. Let's delete it. Alright, I'm gonna add symmetry, move the axis to the left, and let's continue by making the grid. So what we're going to do is we're gonna make sure we have nice 3, 4, 5-sided polys. There are no unconnected vertices, or all vertices have at least 3 edges coming from them. So right now I'm just quickly connecting, and a bit later I'm going to use the cut tool to add more edges where needed. Okay. And now let's cut in some more detail. Make sure the shape is nice and smooth. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this vortex over here. It's probably not needed for now. And keep adding some cuts. It's a good idea to make sure your edges flow in the direction of the carved details. It makes it a bit easier to define the shape. Okay, let's add a cut over here. And terminate it. Make sure all the vertices are welded. All right. And some more cuts over here. And follow the shape of the object. Okay, I'm gonna change the topology here a little bit. This is gonna make it a bit easier to create this little curve that goes towards the front. sure these are nice and round and form a smooth curve. And I can just cut through here. Okay. Now let's try to make it 3D. Sometimes it's a bit easier to see the edges if you set the object color to black. Give it a gray material. And this way you have nice black edges on a gray background. Okay, let's smooth this part out a bit. Okay, so I'm gonna add an edit poly modifier. And we're gonna take a look at this object. So these parts should go outwards. Looks like this should go like that. I'm not gonna end it with a triangle over there. I'm gonna extend it all the way down. Okay. And this is just gonna make it a bit easier to move this part forward. Okay, so that goes forward. I'm gonna convert my selection to vertices. I'm gonna select these vertices over here as well. Alright, so we want to move these parts forward, but we want to use the soft selection to make sure that the final shape is nice and the curves are smooth. Okay, so on the soft selection, okay, and let's try to move it out. I want to round this part a bit, so I added some more details. Okay, I'm gonna copy the symmetry. Looks like we need to actually extend this part and curve it a bit. Okay, and I'm gonna add an edge loop by connecting this ring. I'm gonna move it inwards to give it a curve. Okay. And same for here. Actually, here the curve is a bit less pronounced, a bit weaker. Just let's remove this vertex. Okay, and I'm gonna collapse those edges like that, just to make the geometry a bit simpler. Okay. I think this curve is a bit too strong. Right, let's add shell and see how it looks after some turbo smooth. Okay, so it's looking better. Let's round this part. And let's tweak the overall shape now. So it looks like we have to move this part forward, like in our reference. I'm going to use the soft selection as well. And just move it forward like that. Okay, so it looks like this part should go back. Let's rotate this forward. I'm gonna move the edge loop forward as well. Okay, so looks like I'm gonna extrude, actually not extrude, modify my grid here so that I can affect this shape around the hole better. Okay, like that. And let's collapse this little edge here. And finally we can move this loop, or a part of the loop, forward. Okay. The overall shape looks pretty good. You can of course move some more edge loops to create some additional interesting places, like that one. You don't really have to follow the reference photo 100%. Just make something similar enough and that it will be good. Most of these details are seen from a distance and they are pretty small. As long as it looks similar enough, it is good enough. No need to waste more time than necessary here. Okay, let's curl this part forward a bit. Okay. And that's a good basic shell. And if you really wish to add more detail, you can add an edit poly modifier above the turbo smooth. Select some of these little edge loops. And using the soft selection, move them inwards to add some additional creases. Or you can just skip this part and leave the shell as it is. Okay. So let's use soft selection. Let's pinch it like this. Decrease the fall off amount. And just move it backwards like that. Let's do the same on top. Copy the symmetry, paste, and there's your shell model. If there's not enough detail, you can just run Turbo Smooth to smooth it out, and that's the final result.